Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different for my channel, and then I'm going to be discussing the update of Here's the Storm to the 2.0 version. And I say version in quotations as it's kind of marketed as this big revision of the game, 2.0, but really it's just kind of a patch of the game. You're not really changing any fundamentals of the gameplay itself. It plays very much the same. And I think that branding of 2.0 has rubbed some people the wrong way. Now, I may have a different perspective of a lot of people. I'm more of an on and off player. I've been playing this for about 1.5 to 2 years, but very much on and off. I played it quite a bit for a while, and then I went away for a while, then I came back more recently, and honestly, I think this whole 2.0 update has been a big part of bringing me back into the game, and I'm going to discuss why that is and what the changes are from at least that perspective that I have. So one of the biggest things that I actually am very pleased with is they are doing a promotion around about the time of the launch of 2.0 where you can get 20 heroes for free. And I think that this is a big draw to newer players or players like me that haven't put as much time or money into the game. I have put money into the game, but I have not put a ton of money into the game. I put time into the game, but not a ton of time. I mean, if you look at my player level, I am level 140, and most of my time is spent in AI matches. I've been playing this game, most of the time I put into it casually. I come in, I do a couple matches against AI, I complete my quests, and then I leave. I have in the past done matches against human players, but most of my time, by far and away, and more recently, has been against AI opponents. But I think this move is a big help to players like me, players that are new, because a lot of what I was doing was grinding to try and get the gold to unlock more heroes. And you can see that I have been saving up gold so that I can buy heroes. I mean, that's a lot of what I like to spend my gold on. And the way that they've changed the marketplace quite a bit, where you now have 3 currencies, that's one of the big changes. Gold is much more focused in its use. But this is one of the things that I give a big thumbs up for, the ability to easily get 20 heroes for anyone that is coming into the game. It gives us a way to bridge that gap between a new player and someone that's put a ton of time into the game or a ton of money into the game, so they don't feel like they have to put that kind of money in to catch up. And you get a choice of 4 packs. Now, I chose support and specialists because when I play with friends, I tend to play as a support oftentimes. Not all the time, but oftentimes. So I picked this bundle, and it was also the bundle that I had, one of the bundles that I had the least of already the heroes that were in the bundle. That is one of the downsides of the bundle. If you have a lot of heroes and you have the heroes that are in a particular bundle pack, you unfortunately don't get any value out of that. If you took that pack, you get what heroes you don't have, but the heroes that you do have don't really save you any money. But considering that they more or less give you the gems, which is how you purchase it, to purchase it for free, and it is optional, you don't even have to do it if you don't want to, you know, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And as I said, there's 4 packs to choose from, each of them having a different specialty. So I chose support and specialist. There's also one for tanks and bruisers if you like that type of play. They have a flex package, and then they have an assassin package. So those are the packages you can choose from. The Flex one is the one that is marketed the most, I think, for newer players. And although I agree with the idea of that, the Flex one giving you different heroes from different categories to give. So if you're not really sure what type of play you want to do, because the other 3 packs are very much focused on a particular place type or character type, the Flex package will give you a little bit of everything. The downside, I feel like, with that package is there are a couple heroes, the Vikings, the Lost Vikings, and Abathur, that are a little bit challenging heroes for a newer player. So that recommendation for new players, yes, it gives you a little bit of everything, but some of that everything is extremely difficult characters to play as. But every pack is going to have some of that. You're going to have some heroes that are a little bit harder to play as. I get Abathur in the support and specialist pack, so he's in there. Outside of that, The other big changes to the game, as I was talking about, the currency. So when we look at heroes, you have more than one way to purchase a hero now. You could spend the gold to purchase the hero, and as far as I can tell, the gold prices have not changed at all. And you can sort by cheapest heroes if you're newer to the game and you want to buy up the cheaper ones first. You can start there and pick them up and then go through until you have unlocked them all. And as a matter of fact, we're on featured heroes. It is a little bit of a difference with the user interface. So if I want to see all heroes, I'd go to all heroes. Featured heroes is just going to be ones that they have specials on. And the specials are usually geared towards if you are buying them with gems, not with gold. You never get a discount on gold, and that has never really... That's not changed from the past. The big difference is before you used to see an actual dollar amount, now you're seeing a gem cost. So in any case, if you come in here and you sort by price, you're going to have the cheap heroes down here, and then as you go down, you're going to start getting more and more expensive heroes. So we get 4,000 gold to purchase this hero and 500 gems. And even at the most expensive the heroes get, you're talking about 750 gems. Even Genji, who just came out, is going to cost 15,000 gold to purchase, is only 750 gems. And that is actually somewhat of a discount. Now, it could be because he's a featured hero that they're giving us a little bit of a discount at the moment. But usually speaking, the newest heroes are going to be really expensive. So the fact that this costs 750 gems, if you think about that and we look at how much it costs us to buy gems, it costs about $10 for roughly 1,000 gems. You get a little bit of a bonus the more money you put in. But if you think about that, that's actually not that bad considering the price, the dollar amount that it used to cost for heroes. I would have guessed that Genji would have cost about $15, but that's me using my recollection. I can't actually directly compare at this point. But you're talking about roughly $10, $15 to some of the newer heroes. So in my opinion, this is actually making the heroes cheaper because now Zul here is costing $750. Actually slightly less than that if you got a bigger amount of gems. So in my opinion, it does remove the obvious dollar amount from the heroes, but it might also have an extra benefit of slightly reducing their price. Now, the third currency is shards, and if I didn't already say, gold is the only one that you can get within gameplay. The third currency, shards, you get by unlocking loot boxes, and how you get loot boxes is by leveling up heroes. And they have changed things quite a bit. If we go into the progression, your player level is now tied to your hero levels. So what they do is removing level 1 heroes from the equation, so you just -1 from all the heroes in your stack, add all that together, and that's your player level. So for instance, if I have a hero that's level 5, that hero is going to add 4 into my total. I remove the level 1 from the equation and take the other 4 levels and add that in. So you total up all of your heroes and all of their levels, you put them together, and that's your player level. And every time you get a player level, or a hero level really, you're going to get a loot box. And when you open that loot box, you're going to get random drops of a number of items, all of which are in here. Some of these things are going to happen more often than others. Some of the easiest things to get are your sprays, your voice lines, emojis, things like that, that really, in my opinion, don't really have that much value in the game. Yeah, you can use the emojis and chat, but you know, that doesn't really add anything to the gameplay. And I think for some players, this is the kind of stuff that they're not really that excited about, because if anything, they might view this as a detraction from the game itself. And then you have portraits, which we have always had. And you can get these through the loot boxes. You can get stim packs from the loot boxes, but you can also purchase them. You can purchase pretty much anything here. You can get mounts. Mounts seem to be fairly rare in the loot boxes, but you can also purchase them. But you'll note that they're only purchasable by shards. So where do you get the shards from? Well, if you open a loot box and it is a duplicate, you're going to get a amount of shards based off of the rarity of the loot box or the item in question. And they have them diverted into common, epic, legendary. If you're familiar with Overwatch or Hearthstone, you're going to be very familiar with those tiers of rarity, and depending on the rarity, you're going to get a certain number of shards. You can actually get heroes in the loot boxes, but out of all the loot boxes I've opened, and it's been, I would say, however many I got, which I don't really remember, but I'd say I've probably opened 30 plus loot boxes. I think I've only gotten 3 heroes out of that. So I would expect something around that, 1 hero for every 10 boxes possibly. But you can get heroes that you already have, and most of the heroes that I got through loot boxes were ones I already had, so they would have been contributing to shards that I have acquired. And you can also get banners. Again, these don't really have anything added into the gameplay, but they are going to be a cosmetic item that shows up in the game, just like skins that you can also get in loot boxes. The thing that I feel about it is I feel like the purpose of the banners, the sprays, the voice lines, the emojis is to pad out the loot boxes so that you have, for lack of a better term, junk that fills in those loot boxes so that when you open them, you have a lot of things that you're always getting. So you're not just going to always get duplicates, especially for people that have been playing the game for a while. These emojis, these sprays, these banners, they're going to be completely new for them. So when they open a loot box, they're going to get something that they don't have before. If they put money into the game, if they put a lot of time into the game, and they've already gotten all the skins and all the heroes that they could possibly get, this gives them something that they get so they feel like they still have value in the loot boxes. Whereas newer players, they can get value by getting heroes, skins, and things like that normally they would have to spend gems to acquire. So again, I feel like a lot of this 2.0 edition, and I feel like more experienced players are missing out on this. A lot of these changes are to bring in more casual players back into the game or newer players into the game. And I think from my perspective, they've done a good job of that. The 20 free heroes and the fact that loot boxes give you heroes, I think really helps. Also, when you reach player level 5, you get 1,000 gems, and that allows you to purchase things that cost gems, and I think that's kind of a nice incentive for newer players yet again, but everybody gets these things. I got it, even though I'm well beyond that. So I think there's a lot of added benefits into here. Yes, they don't add into the play section. This is more or less the same. You do get 1 extra map. I'm not that big of a fan of Hanamura. I feel like it's kind of a lame map, just from what I've played of it. And it's a 2-lane map with, kind of a strange objective system where you can't actually directly attack the cores. And I'm just not a personal fan of it from what I've played of it, but maybe I'll warm up to it and I'll eventually like it. But they have also added in a hero to go along with the new map of Hanamura, and that is Genji as part of the Overwatch universe. And they've also made a change to brawls in that you no longer get gold and a portrait. Instead, now you get loot chests. So the current weekly brawl is on Hanamura, and everybody plays as Tracer. Not a character that I put a lot of time into, so it was a little bit of a learning experience for me. And of course, you have the learning experience of the new map. So this is a kind of interesting weekly brawl if you want to experience the new map for yourself. What I see from this 2.0 update is it's a marketing thing. And I think that's, again, one of the things that is off-putting to a lot of experienced players. But the whole marketing drive, I think the objective here, and I think a lot of people are missing out on this, is they're trying to bring more players in. They're trying to either bring players that have played it in the past, like me, back into the game, or they're trying to bring new players in the game, and they're giving them incentives to do so. And I think that is really obvious from my perspective. In any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed my look at the Heroes 2.0 update. This is Mouse Gunner signing out.